Okay, so this is my list of the top 10 bottom films of 2012, and this list in no way represents yours. You will probably not agree with it. You may agree with some, you probably disagree with others. That's fine. We all have our own opinions, so let's just move on and I'll give you my list. Also, my top 10 list is coming very soon. There's just a couple of films from 2012 I want to catch up on first, then it'll be uploaded. I'll start off with some honourable mentions first. One film that completely was just crap was The Possession. It was just, there's no words, it was just rubbish. It's boring, bland, unimaginative, just rubbish. This Means War, where you have to spend a good an hour and a half with people that you hate and you don't want to get to know anymore, but you're just stuck in that situation and you have to endure what they're doing. Battleship, which was just explosions after explosions after explosions, with a sprinkling of a little bit of explosion, and just tiring and lame. Friends with Kids, where you can pretty much guess the ending from the first 5 minutes, but you have to endure an hour and 45 minutes of unfunny dialogue, just boring storyline, and just characters that are just, you know, have money, rich, and yet you're meant to feel sympathetic for them. No. But anyway, let's kick it off. This is my bottom 10 of 2012. At number 10, this would have been much lower if it wasn't as funny as it was. Everyone in my screening was just laughing during this film, and that is Paranormal Activity 4. This film was just absolutely, I don't know what happened. Paranormal Activity 3 was kind of up the game a bit, it was a bit interesting, but Paranormal Activity 4 brought it down to a basic level of just boring scares. In fact, there were no scares. Nobody was scared. We were all laughing at certain events that happened in the film. It was just a really blatant cash grab. At number 9 is a very little seen film, and I'm glad it is, because it's just another found footage film which was just completely bananas and rubbish, and that is the Dinosaur Project. The Dinosaur Project was basically these people who go to some sort of island with a camera and there's dinosaurs, and it was just running around with these really badly rendered CGI creations. Boring, boring, boring. At number 8 we have a film which just made me want to punch myself into paralysis, which was Ghost Rider 2. I'm getting sick of this Nick Cage over-exaggerated expressions that he does and his character and his zaniness. It's just, it's old, Nick. We get it. You are a bit mental. Get over it. We have. At number 7, What to Expect When You're Expecting. And you know what? I expected everything that happened in this film. Pants. It was just completely rubbish. You're meant to sympathise with characters that, even when they're pregnant, still look like beautiful actresses and models. You know, there was no truth behind any of it. Even at this scene at the end where Elizabeth Banks' character is giving this massive rant about how it's a horrible, you know, experience and you don't want to go through it, and yet she's still there looking all her makeup, just a little bit of a bump, and you're just like, I can't sympathise with these characters. I don't even think women can sympathise with these characters. It was a complete farce. At number 6, what happened here? Wrath of the Titans. You know what? You think they could build on how rubbish the first one was, but instead they think, oh, it just needs more special effects to cover up the stupid story and the stupid characters and the stupid dialogue. And you know what? They were stupid special effects, and I still saw the stupid characters and the stupid story and the stupid dialogue. At number 5 we have the biggest cash grab I've ever seen in my life, and that is Taken 2. A film which thought just by getting the camera and going is a really effective way of filmmaking an action scene. No, it made me feel sick in a way that I could just not comprehend what was happening. I wanted to leave. It was more like, Taken 2 was more like a horror film for people with motion sickness. It was rubbish, crap, pants, you name it. At number 4 we have A House at the End of the Street. Now, here's a little bit of confession. When I did my review for it on my channel, I had to have a few drinks before, because coming out of that screening I just wanted to give up on life. I almost fell asleep, and you know what? There was nothing redeeming in that film. They tried to introduce this plot twist which came out of nowhere, and just it was just, you know what? I totes hates that film. At number 3, we have one of the most morally corrupt films I've seen all year, and that is Act of Valor. A film that doesn't try and glorify war, but in the end of it, you could just imagine everyone coming out and rushing down to the recruitment centre, because it does this kind of Call of Duty style action set pieces and movements, and it's just sickening to watch. This is a film which is meant to be making you feel sympathetic towards troops, and it just completely makes you want to just throw up in a bag, because if this is the way that they deserve to get a film out, I just don't want to live anymore. At number 2, we have a film which feels like it was half finished, half complete. It was just bits thrown into a blender and then it came out, and that's The Devil Inside. It's a film which thought, you know what, I can't be bothered to finish. We'll just cut the camera off here. See what people think. People might think it's artistic or interesting or open-ended. No, it was just pants. But my bottom film of the year, my number 1 pick for worst film of the year, is a film which tried to go off the map a bit, like Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods went off the map, and it was the way it did it was in a fantastic way, and it was a really interesting look at horror films. This film tries to go off the map for the purpose of going off the map, and just turned out to be a mess. And that was Detention. Detention was... this film annoyed the absolute shit out of me. It made me want to just punch a donkey's head off. It was literally like somebody had got loads of crayons and paint and just splattered it all over a page, and threw up on it, and stamped on it, and kicked it out into the garden where it was eaten by a dog who vomited it back up. It was like noise, but for your eyes. It just even thinking about it just angers me. It's the worst film of the year. It's got nothing going for it. The story is completely nuts for the sake of being nuts. It's just a film that feels so forced and so just angered me to the very core with how stupid it actually was, that it comes in at number 1 and it left a... Now that I'm able to release all the energy that I've been keeping in all year for these absolute farces of films that should have been completely ripped up, the reels should have been burnt, destroyed, I'd like to hear your bottom 10 of the year. It probably won't be the same as mine, but I'm interested to see what you think, and maybe some of our films mix, or maybe some of them clash, who knows. So leave them below and I'll have a look. As usual, if you like this review, you can click subscribe and you can see more.